Hi, Jim. Hi, Gail.
Hi there.
Wait. Oh, I don't have my laptop open. I will open it. Oh, funny. Sorry. Yeah, I have a big screen and I usually use it, but then you can't see me. Greetings. How's everybody doing? Oh, you're
Jim,
you're
you're muted.
yes. I gotta change my name too. Do you know how to unmute? It's at the bottom left of your screen. It's a little, you might have to move your cursor down there to see it, and it says audio and video. I don't know. That's on the
There you
laptop.
go.
And oh, I forgot I could do it. Thank you, Gail, the expert.
I'll do something similar. Good luck.
Yeah, I haven't been leading these lately, so okay. So anyway, are you guys ready for the rain and the snow?
No.
Oh.
Not so much. I could do with a few 60 degrees, days.
It was just teasing us
Yeah,
before.
it's spring 2.0, and then we'll have winter 4.7,
Right.
and then summer 3.2.
Right. I see Doc in the background.
Oh, yes. Very, very interested in what mom's doing.
Oh, that is Gail's therapy dog.
No.
Well, he's not a therapy dog yet.
Yeah, not yet.
He
Yeah,
says, I'm
to
still a
be.
babe.
Yeah. Do they ever reject therapy dogs?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what are some of the things they reject them for?
Um, they may not have basic obedience, so
Oh,
can't walk on a loose leash, can't work
oh,
with other dogs.
mm-hmm,
Um, I think the most likely reasons that I've seen
mm-hmm.
are dogs who have an issue with some kinds of people. So,
Oh,
for example, a dog who says, women are wonderful, but I don't like men. Um,
oh, really? Huh.
so, it's that kind of stuff. Or they get overstimulated by a hospital environment. I mean, think about all the smells and the scent that's there.
Oh,
And if
right.
they can't cope with that, then they're not going to make it.
Smells are really hard
Yeah,
for
very hard.
dogs.
They have to understand leave it in a big way.
Yeah. I'm struggling with Yemen. He's a dog that's I'm raising when I go to the grocery store because he wants to rub my knee with the gentle leader, but then I'm trying to push the cart, and then
Yeah,
if I take the gentle leader off, he's smelling all the smells. So I don't think I'm going to take him to the grocery store for a while.
yeah, that stuff is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Think about going into a patient's room and all the stuff that's attached to a patient.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah.
just have to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
Pressure and work spotlight can have an impact over time because I think it's unsustainable for both the
Is that
training.
somebody in the background?
Somebody's got a radio
Yeah,
or something
TV on.
Oh, I'll mute.
Oh,
I may.
okay, okay. Oh, yeah, you don't
Well,
really realize that it's all the time.
yeah. So,
So,
the Alliance of Therapy Dogs does a lot of the certifications, and they do a very good job of testing dogs.
mhm.
I imagine some of the same things that service dogs do. They just don't have to do it for a specific person. They
Mhm.
have to be able to do it for everybody.
Yeah, I should try to have Jupiter tested and start using
Oh,
him as a,
I think in a heartbeat, Jupiter would do it.
yeah, you would like that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a program in Broomfield now that's close to you.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll get with you on that.
yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay. Well, how's everybody doing?
Okay.
Good. I
Ready
hear
to
we're getting
trade up a
4 inches
couple
of snow
dogs.
tomorrow. Oh, go ahead.
What? Oh,
How much snow?
I had heard we're getting 4.5, maybe 4.5 inches of snow tomorrow.
All right.
Sorry, I shouldn't have broke that news.
well, he's not in Colorado anyway, are you? Russell, aren't you in Florida?
No, I go to Belize now for the winter. It's
Oh, you're
warmer.
in Belize. Okay.
No, I'm back. I came back last Thursday for the
Oh.
snow on Friday and snow here.
Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I just go to bed and cry. But-
We had some nice weather in Belize, I'm sure.
Okay, well, they get their hurricanes
Oh, really? Oh.
in
Oh.
every
The
season.
blossoms have been beautiful this spring.
Yeah,
Sure,
Haven't
right.
you? Yeah, the crab apples and apple trees, they've been gorgeous.
Correct. It's beautiful in the neighborhood. Everything's in bloom and it looks great.
Mhm.
The smells, oh, the hyacinths.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, really. I see now it's telling us that this meeting is being transcribed. So I did turn on AI, and so it will do it. We've been using that in Colorado Council of Genealogical Societies for our secretary. So it does a pretty good job.
Ah,
And I haven't started recording it yet. I don't know. It's 6:33. I'm gonna turn on the recording then.
okay.
Record. You sure you want to? Oh, it says I'm stopping this recording. Are you sure you want to stop recording to the cloud? Cancel. Okay, I guess we are recording. So, so
Yeah.
I know there's going to be some more people, so we'll wait a few minutes.
So I got a question. This AI product, does it write a summation? Does it write like dictation, like a clerk recorder? Or
No, it
No.
writes a summation.
oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't write, I think, yeah, I've seen some of it. It does say what, I had said something that says Karen Yudnich and blah, 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 blah. So it
It knows
sums it
your
up.
voice. It knows your voice.
No, I think we're on
okay.
Zoom, so it knows who's speaking from Zoom.
Okay, all right.
So if I would have said my name was Broomfield Genealogy, it would have said Broomfield Genealogy but
Okay.
isn't all this stuff crazy? Oh my gosh. Technology's driving me crazy.
Well, what's really crazy is be careful on questionnaires and things, from your texts and emails and all. Don't say yes. If
Oh,
it says yes or no, because they're saying that they have your voice that you've said yes. And then they can fraud you. I mean, so be real careful not to answer things because they can take your voice then and use it
there
again.
was this one treasurer of this corporation, and it was a Zoom call or something. And I told him to transfer several million, I don't know, 50 million. It was a whole lot of money. And he did. It was AI that had generated the person. So once that money was gone, it was lost. But I got a call from somebody from Google saying something about Bitcoins and stuff. And to call this number, it's like, I've never gotten a call that said something like that before. But that's crazy.
Yeah, I tried to get a hold of Google and you can't get anybody on the phone.
Oh, no, yeah, because why would they be
No.
calling you, right?
Yeah.
I
Well,
know in Colorado Council of Genealogical Societies, the president is Kelly, and I got an email from Kelly. I thought it was from Kelly, and had his email Kelly like G. It wasn't his first and last name with a middle initial, and it wasn't him saying, "Oh, Karen, you're the vice president. Would you help me out? I need to get $500 of Apple cards, 1 to 100 anyway." So gotta watch that.
Yep, I'm
And they
not a
put-
Nigerian prince.
What?
I'm not a Nigerian prince.
Right. Well, what's so surprising, they're doing like genealogy societies, and they're finding out, who's the vice president, who's the treasurer. And I guess they go on the web and they find this information on our sites. So any group would have that issue, could have that issue.
Well,
So
and
be
then
careful.
everybody has birth dates, so most of
Mhm.
us are vulnerable because of what year, and so they go, oh, they're seniors, we'll take advantage,
Right, yeah, I know.
And a friend had a Costco email or something that said, oh, you've won $1,200, click on and pick out your
Oh,
prize, you're a
uh-huh.
preferred customer, pick out what you want of these things. But so she sent it to her daughter, and it was Costco, the website, but then it had a bunch of other stuff after, and she says, that's not valid.
Well, it looks like the website. They can make it
Yeah,
really look like the
yeah.
website. So
The
you just,
letterheads and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty. We're
yeah,
living in a frightening world. You
we
just have to
are,
be on your toes all the time.
right.
Remember when for identification, it asked you what your mother's maiden name is?
Yes,
And now I don't, I give them a false name because everyone in the
right.
world knows my mother's maiden name if they get on a genealogy website.
Right.
She's deceased.
Oh.
So
Yeah, my bank still asks me for that. I don't know, change the name, I guess.
yeah, I just told her her name was Smith. What the heck?
Yeah, I
I
should do
mean,
that.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
said you should redo your passwords every few months, change them around and not have the same one for everything.
I have a
One-
really good password protector, so it gives these impossible passwords to break.
Oh, you have that.
It's Dashlane. I really like it.
Which
Oh.
one?
There's others.
I have LastPass and I want to give them up. I have to redo my massive password every day. I have to go through. I forgot it. I'm going,
Oh,
what's going on?
Is
I
there?
like Dashlane.
That's what
Yeah.
he said he had. Oh, is that what you said you had? Oh. Do you
Hi,
pay
Fred.
for
Yeah.
that? Hi.
Yeah.
Karen, do you pay for that service? For that?
Yes, you do, but it's well
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, it'll pop your password and oh no. I am not listening to them. Sorry, that was my phone. And I'm gonna
Oh.
let him leave me a message here.
Okay.
I pay for the service, it's well worth it.
Hmm.
Yes.
So I guess we could start with 6:40. Okay, I think Kirk's gonna get on and maybe Jackie, but let me bring up to share the screen here. All right. Now I have to ask you, last time I shared, it didn't advance the slides. So please tell me if it's not advancing the slides. For BGS regular meeting and program. Start new meeting. Cancel. I don't know what it's asking me. I get all these little pop-ups asking me questions. I'm so sorry. All right. There we go. Okay. Let's go back to the welcome screen. So welcome everybody. It's great. They're here. It's April 17th. And this is our next to the last meeting on Zoom. Well, we'll be doing Zoom, but we will be having hybrid meetings. So we've got some cool news to share. I looked for a joke, but I found this instead, and I thought it was a really memorable statement. We are all braver and wiser because they existed. Those strong women and strong men, we are who we are because they were who they were. It is wise to know where you come from. You Who Called Your Name by Maya Angelou. It's about genealogy. I thought that was pretty good. So, I don't see anybody who's a new member here, but if anybody has something you want to share about your searches, you're welcome to anytime.
Doesn't seem like it's advancing, Karen.
No,
Are
they-
you on the new members and guests
No.
slide? Why is that happening?
Do you need to be in slideshow instead of this?
I am in slideshow.
Now you are.
Okay, now is it advancing?
Now it is.
New members and guests, yeah, but it's going fast.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm advancing it because I want to make sure
Oh, you're doing
it's
it. Okay.
advancing. So I didn't know what I was, okay. So, the president's report. Well, I'm the president because Gary couldn't be here. So this is a really exciting time because starting in June, we will begin meeting at the Bruner Farmhouse on the first Thursday of the month. And it will be a hybrid. The Bruner Farmhouse, if you don't know where it's at the northeast corner of Midway and Main. It's that big house on the hill. So there's some parking around it. You might have to park on Midway if there's a lot of people, but it's not a far walk. So June 5th is our first meeting at the Bruner Farmhouse at 6:30 p.m. And please join us in our first person meeting of the year. So that will be our last Zoom meeting will be on May 15th. So it'll be 21 days to the next meeting. So it'll be kind of a short period there. And let's see, Kirk wrote this off. May 15th meeting will be on Zoom. Yes. And the recording will be sent out afterwards. Anybody have any questions about this? Okay, you can always go to the website and enter a question in the contact information. So I want to thank all of our officers, and we're missing Gales. Conrad is in Arizona, so he's not here. And Kirk should be joining soon. I don't know where he's at. So so the vice president's report, I'm still reporting on the master in genealogical documentation class that we're doing on second and fourth Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. And it's a great book. We're having a lot of really good conversations. This next chapter is chapter 4, and it's assembling components into clear citations. I'm learning a lot from this. I didn't know that it would be as interesting as it is, but it is. Okay.
Thank you.
The classes end in November. Any questions?
I think, Karen, the one thing that I've enjoyed is the conversation. I find the author is very dry in terms, but the conversation afterwards, discussion
Mhm.
really helps clarify things. So,
I've learned a lot about these glasses. I've learned a lot about how to make citations a lot clearer. So anyway, anybody wants to join, you're welcome. And we always send out the recording. So we can send out the past recordings. Treasurer's report, and Kirk isn't here. Somebody want to call Kirk and see where he's at?
Okay, I just sent him a text. There he is. There he is. He showed up.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's online.
Adam.
I was just expecting the meeting to start at 7 and not 6:30. Meet and greet's usually at 6:30. So,
Well, I thought we started the education meeting at 7. Am I
yes,
wrong?
there was a meet and greet for up until about 6:50, and then you do the business meeting.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
am I bad? Sorry.
Well, you're filling in, so.
Well, you know all of the slides up to here. So we'll let you, we're up to your report, Kirk. So we'll let you go ahead.
All right. Well, I label it the good, the bad, and the ugly because we got all three going on.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you all see the treasurer's report on the screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Sorry, Kirk, go ahead.
Anyway, the good news is our bank balance is $2,548.62. The bad news is that for this year, when we did our budget, we projected to have income of about $1,300, but we've only gotten about $1,000. And then our expenses were going to be 1,900, a little over $1,900, which meant that we were going to have a loss of about $600, which we can cover with our existing bank account. But at this rate of expenditure, without more members bringing in more income, we are probably gone our last year of operation unless something significantly changes between now and the end of the year. So hopefully, members here, if you can have some friends and neighbors, please invite them to at least visit us and then see if they might be interested in joining. We really need to do some community outreach to try to get our membership back up. It's fallen off since the end of the pandemic. It kind of held steady during the pandemic and that first year after the pandemic, but then since then it's really fallen off. We used to have about 50 plus members, and we're now at about, I don't know if you had the membership report yet, but I think we're around
37, it says.
yeah, so our membership has fallen off, a good 20 plus people, and it sure would be nice if we could get about 20 plus back to help with the finances. The other thing that's going to impact us going forward this year is the rent and liability insurance for the Brunner farmhouse is $475. We've had a member graciously donate the insurance portion of that, which was $395. So that will help at least not throw us in, any more into the red than much more in the red than we're planning on to be this year. So any questions or comments from anybody?
So the Brunner house isn't free. It's 400 a month.
No.
We get it for $10 a month, but
Oh.
they require us
To
to
have
get
liability.
insurance. Or we could go without liability insurance, and then we don't know if our officers would be liable. We just don't want to, we don't trust that. So we want we're doing liability insurance, which we had a member step up and pay it.
Yeah.
But we just can't continue this way. We need to get more members. So we did do Broomfield days last year and we got one member. So a lot of genealogy societies are having this issue. After COVID, people just didn't join back to their societies. And now with social media, I think people just like social media, and I don't know, maybe they don't like to be in groups. I don't know. Any other thoughts on that?
I think
Uh,
that,
One option is going forward for next year. I mean, we could probably go to Zoom only and save some money, but again, just without the meeting place expenses this year was going to be, it kind of depends on how many, what we spend on speakers, because that's our main expense.
Sure.
Because about $1,200 earmarked for speakers. So that's really our biggest expense. So if we didn't do Zoom, if we did Zoom only, we might be able to, eke through another year or two, but it's getting kind of dicey with this number of membership.
It is.
And if we did Zoom only and like tonight and the first monthly meeting, we didn't have to pay for a speaker. And tonight we're not going to have to pay for a speaker. So we could do it for another year easily if we just had Zoom only and then we had a lot of participation of members talking during the monthly meetings. And there's a lot of Zoom genealogy videos out there that are really good. And so we could fill up on an agenda that way. And then we still could have definitely have some speakers too. I don't have a problem with that, but there's ways we could do this next year if we so desire.
I think we're going to lose 2 officers too, maybe 3. So we desperately need volunteers. Just, it's really not that bad to be a volunteer. We have a good time at our board meetings. So so we'll wait and see how things go, but invite friends. We're having every month, I'm trying to have an activity. So, I mean, what we need is to get together and have camaraderie and get together and work together. Some societies are doing like every Monday getting together at a coffee shop. We could do something like that. But we need to get more people to join. Would anybody be interested in that?
Well, yeah, the Simpson coffee shop in Lafayette would be, if we get the room, that'd be fine.
Right, but we have to get enough people and right now we don't have. We'll have to see, but any thoughts on that, or just give us an email? Any suggestions?
I think
So-
once a week is kind of a lot, but maybe once a
It
month.
would be, so maybe once a month?
Yes.
We are having our activities once a month, so we could have coffee once a month, but we got to get people together. That's what I'm hoping. We can get people to get together face to face.
Well, if you had a coffee shop once a month meeting, then we still could do the Zoom meetings. It would save on the $400 of the liability insurance. And then also we get some, like I said, there's a lot of genealogy videos on YouTube out there. So there's ways we could do this if we so desire.
part of
Right.
it may be that what we need to do is tell people to watch the Zoom, and we're going to discuss it at our monthly meeting. Some get more involvement per se, because I think with social media, there are so many, I mean, legacy I've been watching multiple. I mean, it's incredible. You're right, Karen. There is so much out there that I think people can pick their time, they can pick their topic, and somehow, maybe because I think of the documentation, how we've had a fairly good discussion after each chapter. Granted, there's not a lot of involvement, but I just wonder what will draw people to be in person. So,
Yeah. Well, I hope these activities will. One suggestion from Bob Larson, who's very active in CCGS, was maybe some of the larger societies would allow the smaller societies to share their speakers on Zoom for like $100. That was an option. Another option, if we do fold, is that we could ask another society to let our members join them for free that year. And then we would our assets would go to that society. A good one would be Longmont, Larimer County. I mean, really. Could be Colorado Genealogy Society. So it's something we need to think about. But I think first, let's invite people to these activities that we're having. Invite them to the meetings. If you want this Genealogy Society, we have to have more people. That's just the bottom line. So any more comments? Okay. All right. Our current membership. Oh, okay. Cindy, you want to give the membership report?
yes, we've got currently 24 individual members, 4 family, 5 honorary, for a total of 37 genealogists out there working on their histories. So, if there's anything anybody needs help with, please, reach out to me or any of the board members.
Mhm. Thank you, Cindy. Okay. Editor.
Hi there. So basically, our structure is that the first and the third month of each quarter, we'll send a brief events and announcements, tell you what's going on, where you can meet, what the event is for the month. And we put most of the effort into a complete newsletter on the second month of each quarter. So we just did that in April. And that would mean that in July, we are going to have a full newsletter. In order to do that, I really, really, really would love to get some stories from members. Question of the quarter, that's an easy, simple couple of paragraphs. And this quarter, think about if 2 of your ancestors could meet, which 2 would you pick and why? So think about who didn't tell who about what, or whatever other family little mystery you've got going on. Bottom line is, we would like any good story or good tips from any member. Do not worry if you did not get a 100% on your last English composition thing. We're going for content, not so much form. If you have questions, please feel free. Give me a call, give me an email at editor@broomfieldgensoc.org. And we love your stories. So thanks.
Gail, thank you for your great questions. You've really came up with some great things to think about. So, all right. Delegate reports. So Cindy is our delegate for CCGS, but she couldn't make it. So I was there, and let's see. Our discussion topic was issues facing small genealogical societies. And this also, Save the Date Society Management Workshop. It will be Saturday, October 4th. And Colorado Council of Genealogical Societies does a great program. And Kelly, who's the president, has got some really good ideas about some speakers. So it should be a really good workshop. It will cost a little bit, but it's well worth it. Oh, did I? I'm sorry, I did that. And another reminder on the First Families of Colorado, I'll talk to that, a slide to follow. The National Genealogical Society, Russ from is our delegate. Russ, did you have something to say?
Yeah, the big thing happening in the national and NGS is the annual convention being held in Louisville, Kentucky. It's the 23rd to the 25th, and probably not leaving until the 26th because of flights. But the prices of them are a little steep, but the big thing to me was a month and a half ago, the society said they would not be doing a visual. Everything, no virtual. Everything had to be in place in person. I think they got a lot of pushback because that's what they said on the last video was they got a lot of pushback. So now it's a virtual. However, they're going to delay it from 18 to 24 hours. And it said because of some agreements. So I assume the speakers get some kind of payment for people attending. So there'll be no live broadcast like at Roots Tech.
So you're going, Russell?
Yes.
I'd love to go someday.
Yeah, it's I said I would go and I started putting it together, the airline and the hotels, and I go, oh. It's like I can't this year during taxes, I can't believe how much money I spent on genealogy. It's just yeah. What else? That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So this is about Colorado First Families, and I don't know how many of you know about it. So First Family of Colorado is a recognition program, and the applicant needs not to be a current resident of Colorado, but must have a direct descendant of an ancestor who qualifies. So the eligibility is as follows. First family, an ancestor must have been born in or settled in the land area of what is now Colorado before 1861. The territorial families, the ancestor must have been born in or settled in the territory that is now Colorado between the 28th of February of 1861 and August 1st of 1876. And the Centennial family ancestor must have been born or settled in Colorado at least 100 years prior to the date of this application. So certificate numbers start with, oh, I don't know. So you can download the application on the CCGS website. It's also on our website. If you go to our website and click on news, you will see a link to that. Do we have anybody here who has ancestors? Bob, yours would qualify for Centennial, right?
Yes, I have an uncle. Yeah, my uncles and aunts were all born before 1925.
Yeah.
1925. So that's 100 years from today, this year.
Yeah. Okay. We have one. Okay. So anyway, Colorado Council of Genealogical Societies promotes that, and they follow that, and there's a database, so you can go on there and look at the database. Well, anyway, so announcements and activities. We just had an activity where we went to Family Search in Arvada. It was really very educational. We like that.
Yeah,
So
it
in
was-
May we will be doing. Wait. Oh, okay. Kirk did this. So this, May 15th, 6 p.m. Zoom meetings. Oh, he's put the meetings at when we're meeting. So you guys all know.
yeah.
May 15th, we have a meeting on Zoom. June 5th, we're in the Bruner House. And July 3rd, a Bruner House hybrid. Okay, so, and July 3rd is another meeting in the Bruner House. Okay. Upcoming activities, we have Riverside Tour on April 27th. Bob and I have done that. It's very interesting. The man that led us was amazing. He knew Colorado history so well. So that will be April 27th. It's from 10 to 11:30. If you want to go, you need to go to Eventbrite. See our webpage, look at events and find out, because you really need to read from Eventbrite what is involved. Good shoes, and you need to be able to walk.
I believe Steve is going to run that. He's going to be in charge of that. Is that correct? Because
Yes.
we're going to do it, but we're going to be out of the country.
Yeah.
So Steve Lake, the president, will be there. So
Yes.
contact Steve if you're interested.
It's on the website.
Oh, that's this announcement too.
Yeah. Then the next month we're going to do Wise Homestead, which is in Erie. And it's a homestead house, and it's a museum. It's just really, really a neat place to go. I'm sure you will all enjoy that. And then in June, the plan is to do a women's history tour with Colorado History Museum. So be sure to check our website out for all of that and sign up so we know you're coming. So, I didn't say that, but for the Riverside tour, it says we're meeting at 9:30 at the library. And then we will commute. So let Steve know if you're going to go, so he knows who's coming. We have another reminder, June 5th, first Thursday of the month. We will be having the meeting at the Bruner Farmhouse. So from the third Thursday, we're at the first Thursday for our meetings. And always check our website for more details. Kirk does a wonderful job at that. Okay. Donations, I think we're all members. Okay. All right, Bob. You
Okay.
can take it away. You can use this if you want to. Let me see if I can enlarge this.
Well,
Can you read that? I don't know. Whoops.
how do I share my
Let me stop sharing and then you can share. Do you want to do you want to say who's talking, or do you have an introduction for him?
Yeah, my outline that I sent out. How do I share my outline? It's on
Okay, I'm
Word.
stopping to share and then you can share.
Okay, so I go.
There's a little green button when you move your cursor down.
Well, I know how to do that, but I could get on and share my. Okay. So everybody could see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the joke of the month. It is Darth Vader sitting at his desk. On his right side is the LDS Genealogy online help manual, which is family search. And he looks over and says in a sinister voice, so Luke has a sister. Luke Skywalker, and his sister is Princess Leia. And as you know, if you've seen the movies, he wants to compromise Princess Leia and bring her to the dark side. So reason why I picked this joke is because it ties in the Latter-day Saints and their work on genealogy, which is Family Search, and also it's Roots Tech, and finally it's Family History Guide, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the Mormons. Why are the Mormons into genealogy? Okay, Mormons are deeply involved in genealogy because they believe in the concept of internal families and the importance of connecting with ancestors. They believe that when you die and you cross over and God is there, their grandfathers and their fathers and their sisters and their aunts are there to welcome you. So they believe that there's a strong connection with yourself and the ancestors that already died, your blood ancestors. This belief stems from their theological understanding of the family as an internal unit and their desire to perform religious ordinances like baptisms and sealings for deceased ancestors who may not have received them in life. I grew up as a Catholic, and one of the things they said, if you die as a Catholic without having baptism, you'll go to purgatory. You wouldn't go to heaven and you wouldn't go to hell. You would be in between. And they're the same thing, is that they had relatives that weren't baptized in life. And so that's another reason why they do genealogies, because they can find out these relatives. And I think they go through some kind of ceremony to try to get them in good standing with God. But that's their beliefs. And if anybody knows more about it than I do, please break in.
If you prove 7 generations back, you can seal all 7 generations to the church, and that essentially prevents the issue of them going to purgatory or the Mormon version of purgatory. So all the genealogy has been focused around being able to seal everyone 7 generations back to the church.
Okay, thank you. So, saving souls. Mormons believe that everybody has an opportunity to choose to accept the gospel and be saved. Genealogy research helps them identify and perform these ordinances for those who have died without knowing or accepting the gospel. And finally, family search as the cornerstone. And most of you know that Family Search is a free website out there that most of us are using. Family history is considered a vital part of their faith and helps them understand their place within the broader family of God. The Genealogy Society of Utah, now Family Search, was founded to support this work and has collected vast amounts of genealogy records, notes that help everybody who wants to connect with their ancestors. So that is the reason why the Mormon Church has spent millions of dollars and thousands of volunteer hours doing this work. So moving on, we're going to talk about Roots Tech. And all this information was sent out. You should have it. You could print it out later if you want to. But the reason why I'm talking about Roots Tech is because Karen and myself and Steve Lake went to Utah last month for the Roots Tech seminar. And Roots Tech is the largest genealogy conference hosted by Family Search. It is a global event offering both virtual and in-person experiences and focuses on connecting people with their family history through various educational sessions, workshops, and online resources. And the purpose of Roots Tech is to unite families past, present, and future through discovery and innovation. So we went there, and there's virtually, I don't know, 50 online recorded meetings that we went to. And one of the meetings that I went to was about Family History Guide. And that's going to be the last phase of this meeting tonight, is talking about Family History Guide. So right now I got a video I like to share on Roots Tech, couple little videos, not much. So let me. Can you see this right now? It says Roots Tech 2025.
No, I don't know what you're showing us. We see a man pointing to an iPad or something, and
Okay.
his head is cut off.
All right. So that's my notes. So I'm going to get out of my notes. So I'm going to close out on my notes.
And stop sharing, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Stop sharing. Now I'm going to share. And now I'm going to go to Roots Tech. And this is talks about 5-minute video on Roots Tech. Do you see this?
Of the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City,
Yes.
Utah this early March.
Thank you.
And the relentlessly happy explorers of family history keep chugging along at Roots Tech this year. Brought to the world by Family Search and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Whether you're joining us online or in person, we're here to tell you this is the place.
The necessity to safely host Roots Tech virtually during the pandemic years has, of course, come to an end. But that virtual attendance has stuck around and grown to millions of people across the globe logging on to Roots Tech, even as tens of thousands continue to flock to the convention center in Salt Lake City, the biggest genealogy conference in the world, with that vastly growing virtual audience, too.
And that first year, we had 1.5 million people show up, and which kind of shocked us. We had no idea. So we said, okay, let's try it again.
And again, it's working.
It's never too late to get started, but definitely for our young people. We had thousands of youth here celebrating their ancestors and this work of family history. And it's incredible to see that movement. Almost 5,000 youth were here on a Wednesday night and hearing about temple and temple covenants and taking names to the temple and how Family Search can help with that.
The joy-filled outreach music, stampede of curious exploration, the technological breakthroughs all lead up to the capstone of Roots Tech's very own Family Discovery Day.
Both of these kids were adopted. And so one thing that I am looking for, we have them connected to us, but I also want to see resources that can help us connect better to their birth families and stuff too.
And this year, Family Discovery Day is honored with a special presentation by Elder Neil L. Anderson of the 12 and his wife Kathy, and another wonderful addition, dear friend and acting president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, Jeffrey R. Holland.
I heard there was a Discovery Day in this Salt Palace, and I wandered over for a hot dog and some cotton candy. and I'm here on the stage with my friend.
Our subject today is the remarkable time in which we live, when temples are being built at an unprecedented pace. Kathy and I were married 50 years ago this month in the Salt Lake Temple. I love her very much. It was the most fortunate day of my life. At the time of our wedding, there were 16 temples in operation upon the earth. As you know, President Nelson recently dedicated the 200th temple.
Sister Kathy Anderson shared her own family story of receiving the gospel message.
My great-grandfather and great-grandmother were baptized, and because of the teachings of the restored gospel of Jesus Christ, they grew even closer to the Savior.
Elder Anderson's family perspective was also captured with a reflection of earlier life in rural Idaho. It took us there with a heartfelt look back.
Look at this beautiful baby calf. She's brand new, just born a few days ago, earlier this week. Isn't she amazing? On the farm, I constantly experience the miracle of new life. The wonder of it confirmed to me Alma's words that all things denote that there is a God. Life is a miracle.
Elder Holland shared his incredible journey with his young family decades ago, dramatized by his beloved personal life story, Don't You Quit, and personally summed it up this way.
Youth going to the temple is one of the dramatic and important developments
of this day. And I want you to go, and I'll go with you, and we'll be there, and we'll have a great time and be fortified in our faith. Roots Tech has a shared, universal appeal of our very family histories, like recording artist Rachel Platten, the songstress of the courageous and inspirational hit Fight Song. Rachel was Day One's keynote speaker. A bit under the weather, this artist, young mother of 2 daughters, dialed it in and shared anyway.
I think that loving myself like this so tenderly, not because of what I've done or what I've earned or what I deserve, my achievements, just because this is a tender beating heart that is mine.
Yes.
That has allowed me to love my daughters in the same accepting way. You don't deserve my love only because you're good or because you've done something right, but just because you exist, because you were born, you deserve love.
They come to connect and find their families. We're quite happy to have them come. We hope we can provide a service to them. This is something we offer to the world as our way of helping unite people together.
Okay, so that was the Roots Tech that we attended this year, and that we seen those keynote speakers, and we went down to the area where they had the booths and walked around. So that video was a good representation of the conference. So you could go online, and there's about 50 keynotes presentations that we all attended that was recorded, and it's free to anybody. So that is the belief is to get people interested in genealogy, and maybe you could be closer to them, and it's part of the religious practices. So, Karen, do you have anything to add to the genealogy when we went there for a week? You're muted.
It was lots of fun. They were very welcoming. Everybody was very nice. You can find all your cousins. They have a little app, and you can find all the cousins that are there. I found one, and I said hi, and she wasn't there. She was only there virtually. So that was kind of interesting. I thought maybe she was actually there. So that was it. Okay, Bob.
Okay, thanks. And like the gentleman who was in the video stating, is that the pandemic opened up their eyes on how many people they could connect with worldwide. And like he said, we had over 1.5 million people worldwide. He didn't clarify that. Worldwide, that tuned in and was listening to these conferences. And so their outreach now is both virtual and in person. So that's the direction they're going into. So
they haven't had as many people come because after COVID, everybody started doing things virtually. So they haven't been as big as they were.
Correct. So the hotels were not as packed as they were in the past. And I talked to this one lady who goes every year, and she used to meet people from England and France, and some of them she used to meet every year. And because they're going online, she's not seeing them in person like she used to. So that's some of the upsides and downsides of technology. Anyway, one of the conferences that I went to was the Family History Guide. So it is not an app, it is a website. So you could type in the Family History Guide, and you can look at it right now. And that is what we're talking about tonight. So Family History Guide was started by Bob Taylor about 30 years ago. And of course, he's a Mormon, and he was working at a genealogy center that's just outside of Salt Lake City. And people kept asking these questions 25 years ago, common questions, help us get going. How do I do this? How do I do that? So he decided, okay, I'm going to do a website to help answer these people's questions. So basically, he's dedicated his entire life now. He's long since retired from his day job, and he works as everybody works for free at Family History Guide. And right now they have 12 volunteers that have been working on this website for many years now, and their goal is to make it better and more friendly user and reach out to more people. And so that's their mission. And every year he claims that our website gets a little bit better, a little more efficient. And so this is the write-up. The Family History Guide is a free website that represents a best-in-class learning environment for family history. Its scope is broad, but its focus is narrow enough to help you achieve your goals step by step. And notice how they focus on family history. And that is part of the Mormon doctrine. Their doctrine is for you to research your family history guide. Moving on, whether you're brand new to family history or a seasoned researcher or someone in between, the Family History Guide can be a difference maker. Their mission statement is, our mission is to greatly increase the number of people actively involved in family history worldwide and to make everyone's family history journey easier, more efficient, and much more enjoyable. Here are some of the unique features you'll find on the website. Goals for learning, supported by flexible choices, step-by-step instructions to make learning easier, links to videos and articles from family search, ancestry, and more, quick links that takes you to record searches for multiple sources with a single click, project tractor sheets and training materials for self-study or group instruction, fun activities for families, individuals, youth, and kids. They want to get their families interested, their kids interested in genealogy. So that's why they have these fun activities for the families. And family history resources for faiths, including the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but it also includes faith for the Catholics and Protestants and those of Jewish heritage. So I'm going to play a video on Introduction to Family History Guide. This is just going to be a video introduction. Yep, looks like I lost it. I'm going to have to type it in and come back to it. Hold on here. I'm going to stop the share. I can't find it, Karen. In fact, I'm trying to stop the share and it won't come. Hold on. Oh, here.
This says share, so you're not sharing anymore. So you lost the, okay, so it's probably under, what did you have it under? Chrome?
I'm not going to type it in. Yeah, I have it in Chrome.
Okay. So you want to share Chrome? Is that something's going on?
Why don't we go?
Well, we're back in the other bedroom. Sorry, guys.
We're on backup.
Okay,
Okay, I want you to go and type this into
YouTube.
and share it, please.
Okay,
I'll tell you how to type it out. Ready?
wait. Yes,
TFHG, Introduction
THFG.
space, introduction,
Stop. T
TFHG,
F H G
the Family Search History Guide.
F H G.
Introduction,
Okay, the INTRODUCT. Okay, this is it, Bob?
to the Family History 2025.
Okay, good. To okay,
It should be 22 minutes and 30 seconds.
okay. Here it is.
That's it.
Okay,
Share that.
I will. Okay. Okay, guys, I think we got it. Sorry about that. Now I've got to find out which one. Screen, layout, Zoom. There it is. Oh, we got to share the sound, Bob?
Yes, you have to click on sound.
Okay. Share sound.
Do-
Okay. We got it. You want to stay in here and run it, Bob?
I'll reboot mine and get it back into it.
I think I closed out of your Zoom. Okay, can you guys see, I'll see that?
The family history guide, yes.
Okay, I'm
Introduction.
going to start it. Let me know if you can hear it.
Yes.
Welcome to the Family History
Oh,
Guide. The
Bob.
address is thefhguide.com, and this is a free site.
This is what
There
I
are no
get.
subscriptions required and no advertising on the site,
Is it
so
one
it
of
provides a
those?
simple
No,
but
it should be
powerful
this one.
experience.
It should, if you go, it should be 22
Our mission
minutes and
statement is to
32
greatly
and 30
increase the
seconds
number
at
of
the
people
bottom.
actively involved
So
in
you come
family
down
history
here and
worldwide
start it.
to make
Should
everyone's
be
family
20
history journey
right here.
easier, more
That's-
efficient,
just
and
start
more
that right
enjoyable.
here. Start
Those
right
are the
here.
3 E's.
Right here.
Easier,
Keep
efficient,
going.
and enjoyable. You can get pretty much anywhere you
Okay,
need
this
to
is
in the
it.
Family History
I
Guide
can't
website
hear
by
the
using the
voice
menus
on
across
it.
the top. When you move the cursor over them, you get drop-down
This is
menus
the
that help you
problem, Bob.
navigate.
Go back.
There
to
is no app
Oh,
for the
I know I
Family
can't
History
hear.
Guide.
Can you hear the voice?
Ask them if
The
they can
Family
hear.
History Guide website automatically recognizes
it.
which
Okay.
type of device you're using,
You
and it
can hear
formats
the
the screens accordingly.
advertisement.
For example, when you narrow the browser window, at a certain
You can
point,
hear
you'll
it.
see the menus disappear across the
Okay,
top.
so let's
Now
scoot
there is
ahead.
a history tip. Here is an
Bob,
example.
clear.
And if you want to see a list of all the tips, click the link that says See All Tips. That
Oh,
page
I think this is supposed to be what it is.
easier,
Okay.
efficient, and enjoyable. You can get pretty much anywhere you need to in the Family History Guide website by using the menus across the top. When you move
This
the
is it.
cursor over them, you get drop-down menus that help you navigate. There is no app for the Family History Guide. The Family History Guide website automatically recognizes which type of device you're using, and it formats the screens accordingly. For example, when you narrow the browser window, at a certain point you'll see the menus disappear across the top. Now there is a
It stopped.
3-line button that opens menus on the left side. This approximates what you would see on a tablet, and if you narrow it more, it's like what you would see on a phone. Let's take a look at some of the basic features of the website. In the upper left is Select Language, which opens a list of all languages that Google Translate supports. If you click Spanish, for example, you get the Family History Guide translated into Spanish. Next, there is a blue magnifying glass. This search feature does a search only within the Family History Guide website. It does not go out to the entire internet. So if you are interested in information about adoption records, you could click that and get a list of results. Each result goes to a place in the Family History Guide that has resources about that particular topic. Using the search icon is a good way to find any topic in the Family History Guide. Getting back to the home page is easy. To do that, just click the logo in the upper left corner of the screen. Today's tip: each day, Monday through Friday, there's a brief family history tip. Here is an example. and if you want to see a list of all the tips, click the link that says, See All Tips. That page has hundreds of tips going back several years, so you can explore those whenever you like. The Beginner's link opens a version of the Family History Guide with fewer menu options, so beginners can concentrate on just a few tasks. To return to the full version, click Switch to Full Version. The right side of the home page has a series of slides you can click to learn about various features of the Family History Guide. Just below that, there are several videos you can watch on the home page, or you can expand them and watch on YouTube. The overview video gives a brief introduction to the website. The TV videos are from the Viewpoint with Dennis Quaid project, which features the Family History Guide in nationwide broadcasts in the United States on PBS affiliate stations. Why I Love TFHG gives a youth perspective on family history and the Family History Guide, and the intro video is the one you are watching now. The Family History Guide Association is an education and resource partner for the National Genealogical Society. We provide their over 500 chapter organizations with training on how members can use the Family History Guide to get started with genealogy and accelerate their learning and research progress. On the left side of the home page is a link to the Get Started page. This page helps you select what you would like to learn about, and how you would like to get started learning to do your family history. Here are a few highlights in the intro menu. The FAQ page has a quick summary of information items about the Family History Guide and its non-profit organization, the Family History Guide Association. The Quizzes page features interactive quizzes for projects, goals, and countries in the Family History Guide. The Topics page has an alphabetical list of topics in the Family History Guide. You can click a link and go directly to that topic. The Family History Guide is built on a powerful but flexible learning system that guides you step by step in learning family history platforms and research. This picture is a visual model of how the learning system works. The boxes in the picture represent the projects, goals, and choices in the Family History Guide. Projects are like big boxes, goals are medium-sized boxes inside the projects, and choices are smaller boxes inside the goals. Each choice has links to articles, videos, websites, and step-by-step instructions. To see the learning system in action, let's explore the learning paths. There are learning paths for Family Search, Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Find My Past, each with its own set of screenshots, steps, and instructions. The Family Search learning path has a list of all its projects, 1 to 8, at the top of the page. The current goal is number 1, Navigate Family Tree. The tiles in the main part of the page show all the goals for the project, 1 to 14, with all the choices for each. This page has over 50 choices you can see at a glance. The learning system presents its topics in a good learning sequence, but it also allows you to skip around and choose what you want. Let's open Choice A, Sign in to Family Search. There are step-by-step instructions and screenshots as well as links to articles and videos. For example, if you've lost your Family Search username or password, you can click the link and get help. You can also use the reference links on the page, so this provides learning flexibility. Note that each choice page opens in a separate window, so the previous page with the goals is still open. At the beginning of each choice is a summary with a few bullet points that explain what you'll learn in that choice. And at the end of a choice are exercises. There's a good level and a proficient level. When you can do what each level says, you can rate yourself accordingly. Next is Choice B. There is a way to see the titles for all the choices in the goal, without having to scroll. The top area has a button with 3 minus signs. When you click that button, you see just the titles for the choices in the goal. The content is now hidden. You can click any choice title to show the steps again. Now the button at the top shows 3 plus signs, so clicking it opens up all the content again. You can close or open the choices as you like, to control how much information you see on the screen. The learning system works the same way for all the learning paths, with projects, goals, and choices. If you switch to the Ancestry learning path, you'll see the list of projects, the corresponding goals on the page, and the step-by-step instructions for Ancestry. There is no printed version of the Family History Guide, because it would be huge, and the website content changes often enough that it would be difficult to maintain a printed version. However, you can selectively print what you need to by using the Print Friendly button. This creates a much better layout for printing. You can click on a graphic or other item to hide it from print view. If you've hidden something by mistake, you can click undo until everything turns back the way you want it.
You want to listen to it?
I could hear it in my room. How much time we have?
You can
left on it?
scale, use different print options, print a PDF, or print to paper. The print button and the search button are in the top area for each page in the Family History Guide. Note, when various websites make changes, the Family History Guide is updated to stay in sync with them. The Research Skills menu begins with a Learning Paths section focused on Project 4, which is the research project. For example, in Family Search, here is Goal 1, Get Organized. You can see all the corresponding choices as well. Let's look at Choice C, which has links to articles and videos for using notes, logs, and software to stay organized in your research. Goal 2 is Learn the Basics. Let's check out Choice A, Learn Basic Concepts. The Family History Guide includes industry-leading free articles and videos, so you don't have to search the internet to find out what to do. Also, the Family History Guide does not link to paid articles and videos, just free ones. Goal 3 is Form a Strategy. There's a short introductory video that talks about how to create and use research strategies. There are links to material from noted genealogists, such as Amy Johnson Crow and her Wander approach to research, which combines structure and flexibility in an interesting way. Goals 4 and 5 are specific to Family Search. The rest of the goals are shared identically with the Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Find My Past learning paths, so you will cover these same research basics, no matter what path you choose. Goal 5 is Family Search Research Tools. Choice B highlights the Family Search Catalog, a huge resource for records that have not been indexed yet. Goal 6 is Developing Search Skills. Choice A has an introductory video about improving your search techniques. Choice B helps you master Google search techniques to find records in many different places. Goal 7 is Solve Problems. Choice A lists the common mistakes that genealogists make and explores strategies for avoiding and overcoming mistakes. Choice B describes typical problems with records and how to deal with them. Choice G is about what to do when you hit a brick wall in your research. In the bottom part of the Research Skills menu is the knowledge base for general and United States research. This page presents bite-sized pieces of information you can refer to. At the top are categories, such as brick walls. You'll see some helpful bullet points along with links to articles to learn more, including neighbors and relatives, cluster research, etc. Just below the knowledge base is Surname eBooks, which has links to thousands of free surname eBooks. For example, Ainsworth points to the Internet Archive, with a free downloadable book about Ainsworth families in America. You can view, print, and download most of these books. There are many thousands of free genealogy books on the Internet, with sources such as the Internet Archive, Google Books, Family Search, etc. Each learning path also has projects for documents and photos. And there are projects for DNA testing and research. The Family History Guide has an extensive collection of pages for research in countries. In the Countries menu there are regions, such as British Isles, with links to country pages. Here's the one for Ireland. The goals are listed across the top: research, archives and libraries, civil registration, etc., all the way through geography, culture, and history. Each goal has choices with links to articles and videos and many databases as well. Instead of finding countries by region, you can use the All Countries page, which has an alphabetical list. For example, you could open the Denmark country page. Again, the research goals are listed across the top. If the country you're interested in is not listed in the alphabetical list, you can click More Countries. This produces a huge, alphabetized list of smaller countries, smaller meaning that there are not as many records or resources available for these countries. Here's an example showing resources for Aruba. Near the bottom of the countries is Ethnic. This has links for African American, Asian, Basque, Hispanic, Jewish, and Native American research. For example, African American research has goals across the top such as Get Started, How to Find Record Sources, Libraries and Archives, Slavery Resources, and more. At the bottom is the country's knowledge base. Across the top are abbreviations for different countries, such as GER, for Germany. The topics are listed, and you can learn a lot about the countries using these bullet points of information. This is a great tool to use, especially when you're starting research in a country that's new to you. In the Countries menu you'll see the United States country page, which is the largest collection in the Family History Guide because there is a lot of information to cover. Across the top you'll see goals in Section A, U.S. Records, Miscellaneous, B is Vital Records, C, Census, D, Immigration, E, Military, and F, Other Records. Let's take a look at Goal C2, Census Records by Decades. When you close the choices, you'll see topics for all the census years, from 1950 back to the first census in 1790, with links to articles, videos, examples, and screens. Above all of that you have links to census headings and census questions that were asked. Goal E2, Military by Conflict has choices for all the major wars and conflicts for the United States. In the United States page, just below the Statue of Liberty picture, there is an alphabetical list of U.S. states plus Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. Let's click California. The goals are listed across the top, research and records, vital and census records and so forth, and links to articles and videos in the main part of the page. There are also quite a few practice exercises in state and country pages. The lightning bolt icons signify that there are quick links available. A quick link takes you directly to a record collection search screen. For example, Goal 3, Vital and Census Records, has a lightning bolt. If you scroll down to choice B, you'll see the quick links at the end. FS stands for Family Search, AC stands for Ancestry, etc. If you click FS, California Birth Index 1905, you'll immediately go to the search screen, without navigating through family search menus to find the collection. Quick links help you do searches faster and easier. AC, California Birth Records from Select Counties, is a record collection from Ancestry. Note, to access the records in some Ancestry collections, you will need an Ancestry account or be at an affiliate library or family search center. The same is true for MyHeritage and Find My Past. There are also quick links on many of the country pages. For example, in Ireland Goal 3, there is a large list of collections from Ancestry, Find My Past, and Family Search that you can search. Note that quick links are for collections with 50,000 records or more. Each U.S. state page also has links to information for all its counties. The main counties link is below the state list, on the left. At the bottom of the page you have all the counties in California listed. The name of the county in green takes you to family search information. A is for Ancestry, L for Linkpendium, G for Genealogy Incorporated, U for US Gen Web, and the last F is for the county's Facebook page for genealogy, if available. For example, here's the family search page for Ventura County, California Genealogy. And here's the Linkpendium page. The England page has separate pages for its counties. For example, here is the Cheshire page. The Canada page has separate pages for its provinces. For example, here is the Ontario page. The Australia page has separate pages for its states. For example, here is the Victoria page. The Trainers menu has many tools for trainers, which are covered in a separate webinar. You can watch it here in the home page of the Trainers menu. One of the notable features in the Trainers menu is the Class Outlines page, with hundreds of options for family history classes and presentations you can teach, right from the Family History Guide website. The Family History Guide has over 200 fun and engaging family history activities. For example, in family activities you'll see the Family History Fun Basket. There are steps in a video that explains how to do the activity. Most of the activities require little or no preparation in advance. There are activities for individuals, youth, and kids. There's also an index to activities, so you browse for an activity, such as save memories on smartphones. In the media menu, you can subscribe to the blog, which has a couple of new articles each Monday. You can listen to the blogs if you're on the go, and you can get them translated into different languages. There is also a Facebook page, a YouTube channel with over 200 videos on a wide variety of topics, and pages for Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. The Family History Guide has a series of pages especially designed for youth. It's essential that younger people become involved in family history, as it strengthens their bonds with family and society and increases their self-esteem. The youth homepage begins with a video featuring youth and their love of family history. It also includes pages that focus on what youth can do to make family history part of their lives. Near the bottom of the media menu is Media Resources. These pages contain a tremendous amount of free material about the Family History Guide you can use for events and publicity. Examples include pass-along cards, including ones you can print yourself, brochures, flyers, and display pages. The Faiths menu has a section for members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Weekly Family History Activities is a companion for the weekly Come Follow Me lessons. Click the schedule to find a lesson with family history activities, videos, and inspirational quotes, correlated with Come Follow Me. You can learn about Catholic family history and resources. Here, there are links to articles and videos about Catholic records and research strategies. Goal 2 helps you explore Catholic records in various countries around the world. You can learn about Protestant family history and resources. Here, Goal 1 covers research and records for many of the major Protestant denominations. Goal 2 helps you explore Protestant records in various countries around the world. There are pages for Jewish research, both here and in the ethnic section of the countries menu. Goals include basic research, libraries, and archives, the Jewish Gen website, Holocaust resources, and more. In addition, there are many links to Jewish resources in individual country pages. In the Family History Guide there are only 1 or 2 articles or videos in any particular step. That is intentional to avoid overloading with options. But if you want to dive deeper into a particular topic, you can use the vault. Across the top are many categories, such as stories. You'll see a list of extra videos and articles about writing a life story or biography for yourself or for your ancestor. Many of the vault categories have a main link that take you to the corresponding main part of the Family History Guide. To return to the vault, click the vault link. Article and video links in the vault also have information items, such as video length and year of publication. The online tracker is a secure database that helps you organize your learning progress. It's the only part of the Family History Guide where you need a username and password, because the database saves information that you can keep private. First, click Register with us and choose a username, such as your email address and a password. Then when you log in, you'll see all projects in the Family History Guide. Here's Project 1, Family Tree. On the left is a list of all the goals and all the choices for the project. In the center you can type notes about what you are learning. To the right are status slider bars. 0 means you have not started with this choice, 1 means you have started, 2 means that you are at a good skill level with this choice, and 3 means that you're at a proficient level. The good and proficient levels are tied to the exercises back in the choices. If you can do the first skill in the exercise, you're at a good level. If you can also do the second skill, you're at a proficient level. You can also run a STARS report to get a list of all the articles and videos you had read or visited in the Family History Guide. Click the STARS link at the top of the online tracker page. The list contains the links and the dates of last access. When you have logged into the online tracker, you can click a star that appears before an article or video link, like this. The star is now filled in to signify that you have read that particular article or watched that video. As an alternative to the online tracker database, in the Tools menu you can click Online Tracker Sheets. Open a link, such as British Isles, and you will see basically the same information as in the online tracker, except for the slider bars. You can download a copy of the sheet to modify it as needed. The online sheets offer more room to edit and easier customization. They are intended more for tracking research skills than learning online tools such as Family Search, Ancestry, etc. To send us a message, use the Contact Us link in the Miscellaneous menu. We hope you enjoy the Family History Guide. It's the industry-leading free learning and research library, and you can use it every day on your family history journey. There's much more to explore in the pages of the Family History Guide. We hope it will be your companion for years to come.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing, Bob.
Yeah, go ahead and stop.
Now we see why everybody's got information
That was
Online, yes.
online.
So this was a 22.5 minute video. It's a synopsis. And so the good thing about this, you could go over it and play it again and again and again. And like I said, you could type in Family History Guide right now and it'll come up. It looks just like it did in the video, and you could start playing around with it. In addition, if you wanted a more detailed video, the one that I went to in Roots Tech at Salt Lake City last month is online. So what you could do is just go to Roots Tech, and there's a little area there with
We
the
could send them the link out, Bob.
Yeah, I did send the link out. It's in
Okay,
it's in that write-up that I have.
okay.
But you could go to Family History, you go to Roots Tech, and then and there's an area there where you could type in search, and you type in Family History Guide, and that video will come up because I looked at it, and you could click on that. That's about an hour's worth. It's 50 minutes and 2 seconds. I like the little one that we just seen, 20.5 minutes, and then you can watch it over and over if you want to play around with it and get more proficient at it. So anyway, this was a free website developed by Bob Tyler 25 years ago, and he's basically devoted his life to it. He is a devout Mormon. He believes in genealogy research and how you should connect with your family who died before you. And he's very proficient at website design, and he has 12 volunteers and nobody gets a dime. It's all free. So any comments on this?
Have you
There's a
started
lot
using
there.
it?
What?
Have you started using it?
I started playing around with it and just looking at it and trying to get familiar with it. So, but I wanted to, there's my goal this month was to talk about the Mormons and why they into genealogy, and it's because of their faith, and they have spent, like I said, millions of dollars in resources and thousands of free hours on doing that. My other goal was to tell everybody about Roots Tech and how they're reaching out 1.5 million people worldwide. And there's about 50 videos you could watch on Roots Tech for this year alone. And the third part is I wanted the people be familiar with the Family History Guide. It's out there, and if you want, it's a tool, and if you want to play around with it, you can and watch this 20-minute video over and over if you really want to understand it. But that was the goal of this meeting. Did that answer your question? Go ahead.
I think in the presentation, he didn't go quite as fast. He went really fast in this. It was hard to catch some of the stuff, but it was good.
It's a great resource. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry?
It was nice to know about it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerry, you haven't tried it yet?
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay. Looks like it might be helpful to you with your situation.
Oh, you mean with all the extra people from different places and different...
Yeah.
Has anybody actively been using it, or is this the first you've heard of it? It's the first I heard of it. You what, Jen?
The first I've heard of it. I mean, it's nice to know about. Yeah.
I'm going to
It
start
has a
tomorrow.
lot in common with the Family Search research wikis.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like what this website has done is increase your ability to ask a question.
Yeah.
First
There's a
thing I'm
lot of
going to
information.
do. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe
Go ahead.
raise your hand if somebody has something to say. We'll get a little more organized. Okay, Jerry.
I think the first thing I'm going to do is to check to see if my cousin from Germany's book is online.
Oh.
I have a large book that he made of the family from Germany and includes the United States.
Oh,
So let's see. You see that
Oh,
one?
wow.
wow.
Big one.
Yeah.
How many generations is that?
Goes back to one individual, and he has about 5 sections to it. But the individual is he's let's see, I don't even know if I can find it, but he's got a lot of information in here, just tons. And he used My Brother's Keeper to develop it. And the first one is Jacob in 1667. And he was born in Südostafel, Germany. And he was married to Greta Holm.
Well, Jerry,
So-
if you find his book, or if you don't find his book, next month, would you want to report on, how your experience was using Family History Guide and what you found out? We'd be interested to know about that.
I don't know if I can find it. I know that he put it there because I was with him when we went to Salt Lake City and put the book in. He was a little upset because he's given them 4 books and they could not find one of them. It was from a town in Germany. He used to do genealogy of the towns, little towns in Germany, and then he would make a deal with them. He would say something like, "You give me your church books, and I will rebind them for you so they look like new." And then he would take them home, and he would photograph each page in that book, and he would rebind it, and then he would bind up all the photographs. So the first time I met him, he was in a basement, had I would say a 20-foot wall of just books of photographs from church books in Germany. Now he's donated all that stuff. He died a few years ago, but he's donated all that stuff to a German. It's all in German, but he donated it to a German place up someplace near Süderstoppel and I have the exact information, but I don't have it right off the top of my head.
How is he related to you?
Yes, his mother was a Backens.
Oh.
So his name was Bruns. And the only thing that he ever gave me was that I think it was his brother, had fought in World War II from the German side and disappeared, and they had no idea where he was. But he was a very interesting man because he said he was in the German Youth Corps, and then when the Americans came, he became a Boy Scout.
Funny.
But did he survive the war?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he he was one of those guys who would when we first met him, he would come out with 2 bottles of wine and he would say, "This wine bottle is for us." And this bottle is for me later. So he was a nice guy. I liked him a lot. We visited, he would set up family meetings in Germany for the Germans, and he would invite Americans, are the ones that I knew about. And I would send letters out to them, but we only had one other family show up at the family meeting, and that was the one that I didn't go to. So they were all in Germany.
Have you made a trip over there?
Yes, we've spent many weeks there. My wife was a German teacher, so I've walked around many cities for a month taking photographs.
Well, the family history guide is a good thing to know that's there, I think.
Yeah, I think it's great.
When we were in Germany a couple of years ago, 10 years ago or so, we had a German guide, and he talked about his older brother was drafted into the German army during World War II, and they kept receiving letters from him. He was on the Eastern Front opposing the Germans, the Russians.
Yes, that's where my cousin's brother was too.
And he said the last letter we got was right before the war ended. And he said, I'm looking forward to seeing you if this war ends. And he died. And that was the last letter they ever got from him. And they don't know where his body is. And he was telling me that story, and he was choking up and tears were coming down his eyes. I mean, I never forgot that experience talking to him.
Yeah, same with my cousin. Exactly.
He was in Germany and he was complaining about the government, and his math teacher or a teacher came up to him and was just talking to him and then stared at him. And he realized that that was a clue that he had to get out of there. And so he was the only one of his friends that got out.
Of East Germany.
Of East Germany.
That's when they had the barbed wire, but they didn't have the wall yet. And so he says, I got out through the barbed wire at night because I was a kid. I wasn't discreet. I was complaining about the East German government. And like Karen was saying, his teacher stared at him and say, you crossed the line, you better do something because it's
he
not
didn't say anything, he just stared at him.
So that's why it's important that we have a strong democracy in this country, because it happened to Germany, it could happen to us.
We can't talk about politics, Bob.
All right. I'm not going to say anymore.
The teacher gave him a snake eye, huh?
Yeah.
Said what he did.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for coming. The next program, Bob, I don't know if he's got it yet. We were kind of debating on the date, and so but we will be sending out information, so you'll be posted as to what. But be sure, if you can, go to the Riverside Cemetery on the 27th, and you meet at the library at 9:30.
So you say there's lots of walking then, right?
There's quite a bit walking, but if you take your car, you can leave early.
Well, maybe I'll when you have it another time. I'm gonna redo my hip on May 7th.
Oh, they used to have golf carts there, but they don't have those anymore. So yes, it is walking. It's an hour and a half of walking.
Oh, well, I would love to go, but I think I better pass.
Okay.
This time, yeah.
Whoever can go, I hope we get some people. And don't forget that we will doing the Wise House the next month. So we're going to be doing activities every month, and it should be lots of fun. So I'm glad you all could join us tonight Any more comments before we leave? I don't want to cut anybody off. Okay, you all have a great weekend and
Happy
stay
Easter.
warm. Yeah, stay warm at
Easter.
Easter. All right.
Yes.
Have a
Okay.
nice trip.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Safe travels.
Yeah.